There's a lot of great things happening at Tennessee Athletics.
I believe this city is going to be upside down tonight.
Season-long party continues on Rocky Top.
Hey everyone, it is your favorite time of the week, so let's just get right into it. Our guest today is a redshirt freshman setter who is just having the time of her life right now on the court so far this season. Her honors include SEC Freshman of the Week, Setter of the Week, and Player of the Week, and she ranks 5th nationally and leads the SEC with just over 11 assists per set. And she's here to talk with us today. Please welcome to the Everything Orange podcast, Caroline Kerr. Caroline Kerr, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the podcast. For those who don't know, can you just give everybody listening a little bit of background about yourself and kind of how you grew up?
Yeah. I'm from Champaign, Illinois, so about 2 hours south of Chicago. I have 2 younger sisters. I have 2 dogs, Piccolo and Piper. Yeah, my mom and dad have supported me throughout my whole volleyball career. My dad played football at the University of Illinois, which kind of started some growth and the interest of wanting to play in college, and so he definitely was a role model for me growing up. Yeah, I had lots of family, like my grandpa, my uncle all played college athletics, high school athletics, all of it. So yeah, a lot of family there, and committed to Tennessee when I was going into my junior year, and have loved it since. I'm so grateful for my time here in Knoxville so far.
There's a really fun story related to how you got into volleyball. Can you tell everyone listening how you decided that you were going to play volleyball?
Yeah, so I was in 2nd grade at my grade school, just having lunch with my friends, and kind of in our grade school we have all these banners up on the wall, and it was all the sports we had. So we had track and field, we had basketball, we had volleyball, all the sports we had, and all these basketball had a bunch of banners hanging underneath, state champions, runner up, all this stuff. And I look at volleyball, and volleyball doesn't have any of them. Volleyball didn't have a single banner, single award. So I went home to my mom that day and was like, Mom, I want to play volleyball. I want to put a banner up on the wall. And she was like, sure, Caroline.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, we'll sign you up. And so my mom still remembers that. And so I started playing volleyball. I was in 2nd grade, and I did end up putting a banner up on the wall my 8th grade year. So that was kind of a fun story with my grade school. It was it's kind of how I kind of got into volleyball. Was random, knew nothing about it, because obviously I was the oldest sibling. So it wasn't really I had older siblings to take after. I was just I want to put a banner up there.
Right. Are you kind of a local celebrity, when you go back to that middle school, putting that banner up? Are they that was Caroline, now she's at Tennessee?
There are banners of our team, and pictures of our team that were the first state champions that year. My grade won a few other state championships that year, and so there are a few banners of our year. And so it's always kind of special going back to that grade school and seeing my face up on the wall. But
yeah,
celebrity. That's kind of it's so weird to think about it like that.
That's too funny. So then fast forward to your freshman year of high school. You come to Tennessee to do a summer camp?
Yeah, just a super quick recruiting, what seemed to be a recruiting camp, around May.
Okay, and then the story is that you weren't on the top court. So can you explain what that means for you and kind of your thoughts on how you performed in the camp?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I got that email from Tennessee, I was like, oh my gosh, Dad, I have to go. It's Tennessee. Why wouldn't you want to come to a camp if you're invited by the coaches? So I was so happy to get the invite, and I got there, and I could just kind of tell, the coaches' attentions were always on the other court. Got a little bit of coaching here and there, but it was I think I realized early on, I was yeah, I don't think I'm on the top court here. And I was dang, you wish you were up on the top court. And so it was definitely defeating, because I kind of realized it. Wasn't completely sure, but was kind of sure. That was kind of the vibe.
Right. And then when camp was over, you decided to still go up to Coach Eve and just kind of get her thoughts, get her coaching on how you can improve and do better, right?
Yeah.
And what did she kind of tell you in that moment?
Yeah, I was Coach Eve, is there anything I can do to get better? Anything you saw? And she kind of gave me some generic answers. I think just some a lot of their philosophy on setting, taking the ball high above her head, being in a good position. And so I think it was kind of a lot of their general philosophy. Yeah, she still remembers the conversation, which is
Yeah.
the funny part.
Right, and I'm sure the gist of it was, just continue to put in the hard
Right,
work,
right, for sure.
Which you did, because then coming out of high school, you were a top 100 recruit.
Yeah.
Which leads me to the next story, that when they called you, 8 a.m., the day that coaches were able to now reach out to recruits.
Yes.
You couldn't believe it. I mean, what was that conversation like with her?
Well, I got the text and she was like, "Morning, Caroline, morning from Rocky Top. Like, we'd love to get on a phone call with you." And I'm like, "What?"
You're like, I'm sorry.
I'm like, you guys still know who I am? And so it was kind of like a full circle moment. It was like, no, like they kept up with me. Eve told me on that phone call at 8 a.m. was like, "I remember the conversation you had," and it was just like, that's just the type of person you are. So yeah, they kept up with me for that next about year and a half. And I just kept talking with them, got closer with them over the phone, and it's definitely a full circle moment. It was like, you guys still know who I am?
Right. And like having to almost pinch yourself. Like, is this
Yeah.
happening? Because how you left Knoxville after the camp, it was almost like, well, that'll never happen. That was fun. It was a good experience,
yes.
but you never could have imagined that you'd be putting on the Lady Vol jersey.
No, I literally, you can ask my dad. My dad still remembers me literally turning to him after that conversation with Eve. My dad remembers me turning to him and be like, I told him, I was like, "I don't think I'll ever be able to come to Tennessee. I don't think I'll ever be good enough to come here."
Oh my
Like, I
gosh.
said those exact words, and my dad still remembers it, thinks it's so funny to this day. And the coaches know about it, which is just, it makes it even better.
Right. They're like, psych.
Yeah.
How did she know? When you think back to the camp that you had and taking the initiative to talk to coach afterwards, kind of set you up for success without even realizing that that was going to be what she remembered the most about you. For people who find it more difficult putting themselves out there,
Yeah.
what advice do you have for them to take the initiative, because it paid off for you?
I think, honestly, it is one of those things you have to put yourself out there. I think playing college sports in general is not just like a given by any means. Like, it's not just something you can pick up and do. And so you're going to have to take some chances, have to take some risks. And that's what I did that one day. Was I went up to Eve, kind of put myself out there, knowing I probably didn't have the greatest camp of my life. Put myself out there. And I think more than anything, like, Eve was like, "No, that's the type of person you are. Like, you're the type of person who, even if it doesn't go as well as you want it to, like, what can I do to get better?" And so kind of that persistent attitude and just taking chances, because I think if you're wanting to do something special like play college athletics, like, you're gonna have to do something different, take a risk, take a chance. And that's what I did, and it definitely paid off in the end.
Right, and have to stand out too, because
For
there are
sure.
like so many girls that come through on these camps. Like, they see so many talented people, so making that extra effort just went a long way with her, and remembering that moment years later.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy to me still, and like they'll kind of joke about it with me every now and then. It's just like they think I'm crazy for like thinking I wasn't good enough. I'm like, no, like I feel like you guys didn't even know who I was at the camp.
You're like, be honest with me. Like, did you really remember me? That's too funny.
Yeah.
So then you come to Tennessee for your freshman year. But you came knowing that odds are you weren't going to see the court your freshman year. Natalie Hayward was their setter at the time. And so you redshirted. But in talking to coach, she said you would have never known it. You showed up every day to practice like you were the starter. You were having meetings with your coaches in your downtime. To have that mentality and that trust the process mindset.
Yeah.
For you, what made the transition easy?
I think it was kind of a mindset shift. It was like, all right, I'm not going to play, but I know I'm still, first off, important to this team more than anything. And second off, if I am not going to play, like, because in volleyball, you can't play a single point to redshirt. Like, I know, like, for football, you can play a few games still. I'm still a redshirt.
Okay.
But you cannot play a single point in volleyball. And so I was like, all right, I'm still, first off, important to this team. And second off, if I am going to redshirt and take this whole year not playing a single point, which obviously wasn't something I was used to, was like, I'm going to make it worth it. And so it was like, I told myself I was not going to look back on this year and be like, I could have done something better with it, because at that point it's a waste. And so definitely, like, during practices and stuff, like in season, I was the scout side. And so I wasn't getting to really play like how I would prefer to play. And so that was part of me needing to come in extra with our coaches, because I needed to practice my own game and then play someone else's game in practice. And then kind of took it upon myself to get in better physical shape too, because I would go in with our strength coach and get some heavier lifts in, because our team lifts were kind of lighter just because we were in season. Girls were jumping a lot, which totally makes sense, but I wasn't. And so I would go in, like if we had 8 a.m. practice, I would go in at 7 a.m. and go get a lift in before just to get better shape too. And so I think I took it personal because I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it 100% because I'm going to make it worth it and be able to look back on it and be like, that was the right choice for me.
Definitely.
And definitely giving credit to Natalie Hayward as well. She was such a great role model. I think without her even knowing it, I learned so much from her. Like just being able to watch her for a year, I don't take for granted because I got to see what it looks like to go through a season. Kind of from the outside, but like obviously I was still on the team, but got to see what it was like to go through a season. And so I do credit so much to Natalie Hayward, to my coaches for helping me get through that redshirt year. And I'm very grateful for the mentorship that Natalie provided too.
Yeah, definitely. And now in your redshirt freshman year, you're having a heck of a debut. Like, let me just give you your flowers right now because I need to read this off of my list so I don't make sure I miss anything. Top 2 in assists right now per set in the SEC. Top 10 assists per set in the NCAA. You're second in all freshmen in that same category in the nation. And then for 3 straight weeks, SEC Freshman of the Week, SEC Setter of the Week, SEC Player of the Week, and again, SEC Freshman of the Week. I mean, girl, go off. How fun has it been to just see all your hard work, all the fruits of your labor pay off?
I think it has been really fun. I think at the same time, like, I absolutely know that my teammates are such a big part of this because you talk about like assists per set. Well, it's just I have so many great hitters around me that make this so much easier on me, especially like having experienced players like Morgan Fingal, Erica Lovett, Janasia Moore. Like they're all so experienced, old in the game, and so they take some weight off my shoulders. But at the same time, I think because I put in all that work my redshirt freshman year, like it's not surprising. It's like I kind of like. It's not like I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening. It's like, no, because I did all that work before that, like, I'm ready for the moment. I've been ready for it. And so I'm very grateful for the people they've put around me, the coaches that have recruited around me, and they definitely make my job easier. And at the same time, it's like I know I put in the work, that the accomplishments are coming because the team is doing well and because we've all put in work over the summer as well.
I want to talk to you about the growth that you experienced over the summer and the work that you were putting in, because I heard about this contraption that was built by our facilities members. Talk to me about it. Where did the idea come from, and how did they make your artwork and your little sketches become a real thing for you?
So it's basically like a table without like, it only has the legs on one side of it, so it's kind of like a downward angle with the board, and then two.
Well, what's the game where you throw the?
Yes. Exactly.
What is
beanbags?
Yeah.
Cornhole.
Cornhole. Thank you. Okay, so that's what we're looking. Okay.
Yeah, basically like that, a little bit higher because a little bit of slant, but pretty much the same thing.
Gotcha.
And basically, I would do it because my coaches knew I like to be in the gym a lot, and I do spend a lot of time in the gym, and so it was kind of a way for me to be able to still come in by myself, even if I didn't have a teammate to come in with me. So I would basically just set it up anywhere on the court. Some days I'd put it one place to get reps from receiving it from a certain angle, another day from a different angle to receive from that side of the court. And I'd put 2 setting targets up that are like about a basketball hoop width. And I would spend a lot of hours I would hit a ball at the board, it'd come back to me, and I'd set it. And that's kind of what I did all summer. Was I would work out in the morning with the team, go and do some reps with the board, and then come back for like a team practice later. And so that's kind of what I did, was like that's how I got my reps, and it was a way for me to do it myself because I knew I needed to be in a gym a lot if I wanted to be able to help this team.
So far this season, the team has just been on an absolute tear. The only loss you guys saw was against Wisconsin on their turf, the top team in the country, and you took them to 5 sets. This team has something really good and something special happening. What do you think is making you guys click so well on the court? Yeah,
I think this team just has a desire to get better, fire to get better. I think it could be really easy to be like, we had a great non-conference. We've been successful so far through SEC play. Like, I feel like it could be really easy to become complacent and kind of just like expect things to happen. But no, we come into the gym every day. Like, we're not taking anything for granted. We don't take the reps we have for granted, and I think that's so special. And those are the type of people I want to be surrounded by, because that's how you get better, with people like that and like-minded people around you. And so I think that's been so special to be a part of, is like the will to get better, and like there's no time to be complacent because everyone in this league, everyone in Division I's good, and so we're trying to be the best, and we got big goals for this team that I absolutely believe we can live up to. And so for that to happen, we got to come to the gym every day ready to get better, no matter what the coaches got ready for us or what happened the day before. I think even on like our maybe not great days, we're still looking to get better and understanding that it's part of the process. And so it's just really cool to be a part of that. And I consider myself really lucky to be a part of it.
Also, I want to just talk about, too, how you've seen the sport grow over the past couple of years. I think the big moment this year was when Nebraska put a volleyball court in their football stadium and had close to 90,000 people show up to see a couple of volleyball matches. For someone who's grown up in the sport, how exciting is it to see this progress and people have so many eyes wanting to watch it now?
Yeah. Like I said, I grew up in Champaign, Illinois, which is the campus town of University of Illinois. And so I grew up going to the Illinois volleyball games. And so as like a little girl, it was always so cool to see these old girls hidden and competing. And so that was always like a really cool moment for me. And so to now not only be one of them, but have girls who are doing the same thing I am, having attendance crowds of that large, is like it feels so promising, because I feel like the sport has been like pushed away for too long, and like there's so much good that's coming out of volleyball that I really think it's only the beginning, that like we are continuously breaking records as a sport, between attendance records or viewership on online. I know our game last night against Mizzou was on ESPN2. Our game on Sundays on ESPN. Like, volleyball's making moves, and I think the broadcasters and fans are starting to realize that there's something going on in our sport. And I just hope that trickles down to the girl I used to be, was like those little girls who are watching us, because I want them to dream big too, and like be able to say like, no, like I could be on TV. Like it shouldn't be weird that I'm about to play on ESPN on Sunday, but it is right now. And so it was super promising, because I think the sport is finally starting to get the attention it deserves, because it's such a special sport. And even if you compare it to the men's game is pretty different. And so even just the women's side and specifically is so important. And so I think that like it's really cool for me to now be one of those like people who inspire little girls who are watching us. And so I just hope it continues, and that people continue to see the merit that volleyball has, because it's only the beginning, I really believe. And if people can keep looking at it like that, it should continue to grow. You're
in your second year being on campus. How have you seen the fan base just embrace you guys this season, and then see the success amongst all of the Tennessee athletic programs here, and that you guys are a part of it?
Like I said, like even as someone who's from the Midwest, it was always like, it's Tennessee. Like there's such a name brand behind the school, and the fans absolutely feed into that. And there's so much pride in the Lady Ball blue. There's so much pride being a Lady Ball, not just a volunteer, but Lady Ball. And that's something I've embraced being here for just under 2 years. And I think it is so special to be able to play for this university and these fans, because they care so much. And I mean, you think about like a packed Neyland Stadium is just unbeatable, unlike comparable. And so I have enjoyed every moment being Lady Ball, being able to represent such a legacy and tradition. Our team's really focused on like learning more about that, and so that's been super eye-opening as well, just getting to really embrace that, because even as like a little girl from Illinois, is like you just knew like Tennessee's different. It's just different here, you know. And so it has been so special for me, and yeah, I have truly loved being able to embrace such a name brand and like just a legacy that comes with being Lady Ball.
Okay, so some other, a fun section for you now.
Yes.
We talked about how you kind of have some hot takes when it comes to food. So I did a lot of research on this.
Okay.
And I polled the office, and I've put together some questions for you. So I want to see what you think. The first one I think is universally known, and people are one way or the other. Pineapple on pizza.
I am a hard believer of pineapple on pizza. I just had it. I've had it twice this week, I think.
Really?
I am such a hard believer on it. It belongs with it. Add on some ham in there, some bacon, all of it. And I will
sweet,
back you up.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I absolutely.
Okay. McDonald's fries are the superior fast food fry.
I'm going to go with no.
Okay.
Chick-fil-A is unbeatable.
Really?
McDonald's, I will give them a close second.
Okay.
And I never liked waffle fries. I wouldn't say in general I like waffle fries, but Chick-fil-A, they're going to do it. I got to get a large.
See, now this was controversial in our office because people were saying Chick-fil-A fries, but I was like, I like a thin fry. I feel like the waffle fry is too much for me.
See, and the thing is they'll both do it, and especially a late night snack, McDonald's fries will get the job done too.
They'll hit. Okay.
You're in a win-win situation, honestly.
There you go. Always silver linings. Breakfast is an acceptable meal at any time of the day.
Yes.
Easy. That's not even debatable.
Breakfast is probably the best meal of the day.
It is the best
so
meal.
if you can have it,
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, right.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
I'm gonna go with no.
I don't.
Cause, I mean, I guess if you take the bun and separate it, then I guess maybe you have an argument. But a normal bun and a hot dog?
No. So, like, is it a taco?
No. No.
Absolutely not.
It's just a hot dog.
Okay, there's a difference in the taste of various water brands.
Absolutely. I grew up drinking Ice Mountain.
Oh, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, a lot of people down here haven't.
Okay.
But I grew up drinking Ice Mountain, and I could never drink Dasani. I cannot drink Dasani.
Me either. I don't like it.
Aquafina's all right.
I like a spring water.
Okay.
So it's a mineral.
That's what
in
Ice
there.
Mountain is.
Okay, then
Yeah.
I think I'd like it.
Yeah. I'm not
But
a
I agree.
Dasani girl.
You can taste it.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
But yes.
Avocados are overrated.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm just not a big avocado girl.
Okay.
At least by itself.
Okay.
If you put it like, I've had it on burgers before, on some sandwiches, like that's okay on burgers, but just I feel like people are always trying to put it on something. Like
They are.
It's okay.
Right. We were talking earlier. There's like an avocado burger that they like deep fry.
Yeah.
I think. That's a little too far for me. But I like an avocado toast.
Okay.
Or throwing it on like breakfast tacos.
I feel like I could definitely expand my avocado range for what I
Yes.
use it on, but I just feel like if there's something to put it on, they're trying to put it on.
Fair. Ketchup is the ultimate condiment.
Yeah.
Why? Tell me why.
I just feel like if you're like you just got food, there's almost a guarantee that there's either ketchup on the table.
Sure.
They definitely have ketchup somewhere.
Yes.
Um,
Is it your ultimate condiment though? Like, is that what you use for all your foods?
it's definitely my most used one.
Okay.
Yeah, but like ranch,
I was gonna say.
it can just not go on anything. Like whoever's putting it on pizza,
Ooh.
I'm gonna need you
Are you
guys.
gonna call me out right here, right now?
I'm gonna need you guys to take a step back and look at what we're doing.
I feel personally attacked, but that's okay. That's okay. I know that it's debatable, but I'm a ranch girly, so
Okay.
agree and disagree.
Yeah, for sure.
Hot coffee year round, iced coffee year round, or depends on the weather.
Iced coffee year round. I think if I'm going hot, it's probably like hot chocolate.
Same.
Yeah,
Or
but-
a tea. Like
yeah.
I don't ever
I'm not.
crave hot coffee.
But you got
No.
iced coffee. Been liking the iced caramel macchiato lately.
Very good.
Yeah,
I
really
love
like that one.
Oh yeah. Plain chips over flavored chips.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just had barbecue chips recently, and they just didn't do it for me.
It's one of those things where it's like, don't broke what's not fit,
Right.
or don't fix what's not broke. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I don't know. I dabble a little bit. I love Doritos, so like,
Okay.
I'll dabble in some of those. They're not too wild.
Yeah.
Some of them are like pickle flavored chips.
I'm not going into like all the chip section and I'm picking out. I'm probably going with the basic I can have any time of the day.
Lay's, yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. Ruffles. Good
Love
one.
them. Love Ruffles. Thank goodness Froyo got left in 2010.
Did it though?
You don't think so?
did
I
it?
swear they closed like all across my hometown. Just one day they disappeared.
I don't even know the difference between froyo and ice cream. Like I love both.
So when I was reading, because this was like a hot take online,
Uh-huh.
it was the fact that you could get whatever toppings you wanted, and your price at the end was based off of the weight.
Yeah.
Which I get. I don't know. It was like the thing when I was in middle school.
It was a big thing. I could see where you're coming from
Yeah.
with a lot of them closed down. I like any type of sweet
Fair.
froyo, ice cream,
Fair.
all of it.
They got it, you'll eat it.
Yes,
Perfect.
for sure.
What goes first, the cereal or the milk?
Cereal. It can't be a question.
No,
We have to stop normalizing the milk before.
It's like people that say, do you put one sock on, then tie your shoe, and then you put both your socks on and tie your shoes?
We got to stop giving it the time of day.
We do.
The argument.
We really do. It's out. It's
Yeah.
done. Do you have any that like you stand by that I didn't mention?
I don't do the ranch on just about anything. Like the ranch on pizza.
You stick
like
it to your salad and that's it? Not even?
Maybe not even my salad. Like, it's okay. It's okay, period.
You haven't had good ranch. I'm going to tell you.
See, and my sister, if she watches this, she's a huge ranch person. Like, got it in the fridge, always on
Yes.
everything, and she will be screaming through the phone.
We would get along great, her and I. Well, my last question for you, Caroline, before I let you go. When you sing Rocky Top, do you woo?
Absolutely. You got to. I feel we'd sing it after when we win, which we like to think is a good amount of time. Absolutely. I think it's such a fun part of it, and I love Rocky Top. I think people are always like, oh, do you know Rocky Top? Yeah, I know Rocky Top.
Yeah.
You gotta know Rocky Top. And so I love the song, and you definitely gotta woo.
Well, Caroline, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the podcast. It was so much fun to chat with you, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed it.
Thanks so much for listening to another episode of the Everything Orange podcast. Be sure to follow us on all of our ball sports platforms so you don't miss out on a single update. But before we go, here's a look at everything going on with Tennessee athletics this upcoming week. Tomorrow, we have 2 teams taking on Mississippi State in Starkville, volleyball at 6 p.m. and soccer at 8:30. And then women's tennis kicks off their 3-day HEB Invitational in Waco, Texas. We've also got another football Saturday in Knoxville this weekend as the Volunteers face off against South Carolina at 7:30. The theme is dark mode, so everyone dress accordingly. Then on Sunday, men's golf starts their 2-day Notre Dame Invitational. Softball starts their fall ball schedule at 1:30 in Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. Then volleyball takes on Ole Miss in Oxford at 2:30. On Monday, men's tennis starts competition for the week-long M15 Ithaca tournament in New York. And finally, on Wednesday, the volleyball team wraps up their 3-match road stretch in Tuscaloosa, where they will take on the Tide at 8 p.m. But wait. Before you go, on that note, real quick, I have to shout out volleyball for sweeping Kentucky on Sunday on the road, getting the win over the Wildcats for the first time since 2016. And last week, Coach Eve got her 100th win as a head coach against Missouri. Go Lady Vols. Well, that's a wrap on Rocky Top. Tune in next Thursday for another episode of Everything Orange. Bye, y'all.